2, 1. And assalamu alaikum. Peace to the
Walaikum
gods, peace to the
salam.
earths, to all of the
Peace.
righteous
Walaikum
families of the
salam.
planet. Assalamu alaikum, brother. What's going on? Tell me something good, man. How you been, my
Man,
brother?
walaikum salam, black God. Man, just trying to really get to the bottom of all this deception, man, that's been going on with this brother Darkim, man. The
Yeah,
God
yeah.
been pulling off some deception, man, and he functioning from a whole nother playbook, man, and it's crazy because I'm trying to see how the people who actually follow his content is not
Mm,
seeing the deception.
mm,
And the only reason we even brought, the God into the discussion was because he was playing something that, some content that we had put out and we were just
right,
responding,
right.
you know. And so I just wanted to get to some of the deception that, that he pulling it off, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, this cat is on a whole nother level, man.
These are his rules of deception, I guess, that
Yeah.
he's, sticking to and following because yeah, I was kind of tripping too. And, I talked to some of the other Muslim gods, Wakil and
Hmm.
the other brothers, the other gods, and they was like, man, they don't even really want to, you know what I mean? But, like I said, me and you, we just felt it necessary to just come on and basically, just show the deceptive,
Hmm.
nature of the individual that we talking about,
Yeah.
in comments, we've said numerous times to the brother, yo, you know, come build with us, man.
Yes, sir.
Come give your C, we'll give our C.
Hmm.
You can get a chance to show and prove.
Hmm.
Again, I done been asking the brother for what, over a year now? This brother show and prove the tribe of Jabbar. He still
Hmm.
hasn't did that. Like it's so many different things. Like, but I'm starting to see him now as like on some trolling type. You know what I'm saying?
That's the language I use, God. I
I
said
mean,
now. I said it's to the point that it seems like he just trolling now. Like he don't want
right,
no bill because let me show you this, God. I was reading one of the comments, one of the brothers who left a comment up under his video, and the
right.
brother pretty much was saying that this is one of the reasons that this bill actually need to be had. It's a discussion that need to be had between the NGE and the Muslim gods, so we can make understanding understood.
I think I
And
seen that
once I
too.
was reading his response, it's pretty much like he's trying to wiggle up out of having that type of that bill.
Right,
But
right,
I
right.
thought that it would be good for the culture. You understand what I'm
Mm,
saying? For the NGE, because this would be going on, God. We got this thing where we say, okay, we identify as Muslim gods.
mm,
They saying that we in error. Ain't no such thing as a Muslim god.
mm,
So we did remember the bill we did with the other NGE brothers.
mm,
And he was like, well, God, who coined that term? I said, Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the one who coined the term Muslim God. So
right.
I went and got the receipts. I
Mm,
went in, got my theology of time book, took him to the exact page and read it word for word. What Honorable Elijah Muhammad is telling us that the God who put the moon in the sky, he referred to him as a Muslim God.
right.
And the brother is trying to explain it away. And everybody else who disagree with it. See, y'all disagreement is not with me or the God Jihad or the God they son or the God Wakil. Y'all disagreement is with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad himself. And we know y'all don't want no smoke with the messenger because he's the one who taught us all.
Right.
And so I was
And
telling the brothers that Master Farah Muhammad, to whom praise is forever due, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, their understanding of the lesson, the 120 lessons, or just the supreme wisdom in general, trumps
mm,
everybody, brother, including the Father. Trumps everybody. So I asked one of the brothers in the comment, I said, who understanding are we to follow? The master teacher himself, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, or his students? You understand what I'm saying? But man, this is what I want to do though, God. I'm just finna read some of the deceit because on one of them videos, you were asking the brother to have to come on, well, let's have a build about it. And I was like, man, I think that'll be good. And he come in and said, no, I'm just not going back reading the comment because he ain't even respond at first. But later on, I guess some days later, he came back and responded up under that comment and he said no. So okay, like he don't want to have the discussion. He don't want to have the bill. And
I
so
didn't even see.
even in
I
my,
didn't
let me
even
read, let
see.
me, God, go ahead,
I was gonna
God.
say I didn't even see that. He came back and said no.
Yeah, I'm finished. Matter of fact, I'm finna pull it up, God. Hold on, let me share my screen. I mean, let me split my screen right quick, cause for some
Wow,
reason they won't. Let me.
that's
I'm finna
crazy.
show it to you, God.
Wow. Yeah, we got to deal with this deceptive stuff, man. I mean, and I can see why the other Muslim gods ain't want to deal with it, man. Because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, dude is a baby, man. I mean, I just gotta say,
Yeah,
dude is
yeah.
just like, and I commended him before because I was like, you showing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and that's good because I know a lot of y'all haven't watched the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Y'all don't read his books, y'all don't watch his videos, lectures. You probably sit here and lie to us and say you have, but we know you haven't. You know what I'm saying? So thought it was good, that the brothers was taking time out to sit there and let the messenger play and just, what I'm saying, go through that and go through what the messenger said. I commend them, for that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, and I don't know if you peeped the comment or whatever when he said, we're out of alignment with what Elijah Muhammad is saying. The Muslim gods, we're wrong. We're out of alignment. We don't under Elijah's saying one thing and y'all saying something else.
We we
Now
we
I
we, we about
asked
to
him,
address some of it. Then we gonna
right,
address
right,
it.
go
See,
ahead, brother.
that's why the brother in the comment was saying this one of the reasons the bill need to be had. This is a discussion that need to be had. It'll be good for the culture because you got some people who only hear their perspective, the NGE. And then we
Right,
might have some on, who only follow the Muslim gods and they only hear our perspective. So
right,
what we trying to do, we trying to let the culture to hear all perspectives and see whose perspective is lining up with what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad actually teach us. And so that would be my whole argument. But this what I'm gonna do because he had played a video, God, and he mentioned my name, he mentioned your name. But then when you show the video, you showing what another God is speaking on. And so I told him in my comment, I said, God, I'm only responsible for what I say. Whatever another God say, you take that up with him.
right,
You see what I'm saying? Because I'm like, yeah, we Muslim gods, don't get me wrong, but all of us don't always A, B, and C alike. We have disagreements as well. But
mm-hmm,
when we disagree with each other, we ain't at each other throat or I hate you and this, that. We ain't gonna do none of that, God. You
right,
understand what I'm saying? We just deal with it and we grow from it.
right,
Because one thing about us, how we build, we invite disagreement because that's how you grow. You don't want somebody always agreeing with everything you say. It's hard to grow like that. And the wisdom that we've been given, man, there's so many degrees of understanding to it. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what the gods got to learn. Okay, I'm finna read this. I'm finna read a couple of comments to give the viewers some insight on what's been going on and all the deception that the brother has been pulling off. But man, we gods, man, we can see right through that. It's so transparent. You see what I'm saying? Okay, this you to me in one on a comment on one of his videos. You wrote, you were like, peace, God. Um, oh, for they would know. I know you they son to God and brother Fahiym is the same person. So when y'all
yes, sir.
read comments and it's saying they son to God, brother Fahiym is the host on this panel that we doing now. This the God who I'm talking to right now. Brother Fahiym and they son to God is the same person. Just so they'll know, God.
Yes, sir.
Hold on.
Yeah, we got to deal with this deception, man. We got to deal with it, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
We got to
God.
deal with it. We got to deal
Let's
with it.
deal with it. He said,
Right.
I mean, this is what you said to me, God. You was like, peace,
Mm-hmm.
God. God us one, God. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be the most civilized bombing ever witnessed. Laugh out loud. I'm not a gambling man, but I'd be willing to bet he won't want to debate me on this topic or any Muslim God student of Elijah for that matter. So I responded to your comment. I said, yeah, I would love to witness that. Most definitely would be a good one, God. Peace. So he commented like some days later or whatever, and he said, no. This Darkim responded to you. He said,
No,
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 you could
no,
you
no.
could debate Elijah Muhammad. He said what he said. So that's proof that the brother just want to do all these shenanigans and stuff like that, man. The people want to see a bill because people is watching for understanding. When they see that the God studying the same lessons, but you got this understanding, he got this understanding, he got this understanding, the people want to grow. So when we have understanding, we sit down and build on it, bro. And wherever the truth is, man, it fall where it fall. You
Right,
know?
right.
All right. Let me show you. And this
I
is,
remember I remember that comment too. After you when you started reading it, I remember that comment too. Because I
yeah.
said I don't think he's gonna want to debate me on this topic. You know, talking about we're out of alignment with what Elijah's saying, and
Hmm.
he said or he has insinuated, I guess, that
Yeah.
the father
He pretty
Ben
much
Crump
saying he don't want no
is the
smoke.
successor, right? Yeah, and I said once he's probably gonna go and talk to somebody in the Nation of Islam or what I mean, one of his homies or whatever up there in New York, and they're gonna tell him, no, that's not talking about the father, brother. That's the and he ain't gonna want
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
let's
So
debate. No, 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 forget it now, forget it.
God, I got to read some of these statements, man. I mean, some of these comments, man, to give y'all a little insight on what's been going on. So this is me, brother Jabbar X, and I'm speaking to our brother Darkim, the God Darkim. He said, Darkim Be AllahChrist. That's it. That's his name. That's his God attribute.
Mm,
I say Allah, Master Muhammad has made the honorable Minister Farrakhan to exhaust all those who many praised as that one. He's the last man standing who's actually fulfilling that other 1/3 of the Holy Quran. No one else even comes close. We try to put things into prophecy that don't fit. Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Islam. If it be truth, it can be proven in no limit of time. Even the enemy recognize and bear witness to God's man on scene in our present reality. We must remember the enemy knew Jesus' identity before his disciples. When the black man writes the history 25,000 years in advance, which is called prophecy, what is written must and will be fulfilled. When we don't study prophecy, we make it very difficult to understand our present reality. I really would like to know from y'all's vantage point who y'all say is fulfilling that other 1/3 of the Holy Quran. Peace God. And the reason I said that because in the video he's implying when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that 2/3 of the book was given to him to study from Master
mm,
Muhammad, meaning the Holy Quran. That's the book he's
mm.
speaking of. He
Right.
said the other 1/3 is for some other fellow.
So uh, I studied that then from what he gave to me to study. He gave to me a Holy Quran in Arab, and I couldn't read it. So then he goes and gets me a Holy Quran in Arabic and English. And so I taken this book and I studied it from what he uh, lined me up with. He gave me a copy of Texas and places and other books. He gave to me the names of 104 books that is in the Congressional Library in Washington. And I studied them for 7 years. Uh, there up and down the East Coast. And I have the Quran that he gives to me, given about 2/3 of it to study. The other third, he said, didn't amount to anything because that would be probably in some other man's time and not our time, and we shouldn't be worried about what the other fellow have to do. Let him worry over that.
And so the God Darkim and the people who follow his content, even in the comments, they are implying that Father Allah, aka Brother Clams 13X, the
Mm,
founder of the 5% Nation, they said
yes.
that he is the fulfillment of that 1/3. So that's where the discussion comes from. So we
Right.
wanted to build on it because we said from our vantage point, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan fulfills that. And we'll get on that, later on in this particular discussion. But I just wanted to give them a little bit more insight of what all the bickering and the back and forth is stemming from.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, and I mean, and the thing about it is, they just roll stuff off the tongue, just so
Mhm.
free, willy nilly. Just like, you didn't give us no scripture. You didn't give us something else that the messenger might have said that can re- coincide with that. Because I'm
Mhm.
like, oh well, yeah, how you call yourselves Muslims and God? We don't say that in the lessons. Okay, I could come from the lessons. I could come from any other writings that the messenger gave us, saying, showing how we're Muslims. I could come from table talks, showing us Muslim that how we're Muslims. I
Mhm.
mean, I could come from various angles to make my point proven. I'm not just It's
Definitely.
not just conjecture. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing
Mhm.
the messenger say something and I'm just taking a educated guess. Oh, well, I
Mhm.
think he's talking about Allah the Father.
Mhm.
No, I mean, he was Allah. He said, Allah, after me comes Allah, the messenger, hence Allah the Father. And they just conjure up these ideas, and that's cool. Don't get me wrong, because a scientist is supposed to have a mind. We know when we read about Albert Einstein and Newton, Sir Isaac Newton and stuff. Like these guys were thinkers. These
Mhm.
devils, they used to sit down and just ponder, look up and just think things. But as they're thinking things through, they're pulling other or drawing other things that they've learned throughout their
Mhm.
studies that can show and prove the thoughts that are conjuring up in their minds. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But these dudes just bring thoughts and pull thoughts out of the sky, pull them out their ass, pull them out of everywhere, and don't show no source,
No source.
no foundation of where it comes from. What gave you that idea?
Mhm.
And it's crazy because again, what gave you that idea? And the father left us in 69. Young brother
Mhm.
Elijah Muhammad left us in 1975. So again, it's illogical. Like, what gave you that idea? You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's why I'm like, one thing about Darkham, I'ma just say, man, and he may not agree, but I'm sure other people who watch his channel probably would agree that, yo, God, yo, you getting more smooth with the words. You know what I mean? Like I listen
Mhm.
to your bills and they sounding more fluent. We talking about somebody that used to just sit there and be sitting there laughing and like, what's funny? He's sitting
Mhm.
there building like, yeah, man, you know what, man, yeah, yeah. And then and it's like it's really hard to get through his bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It really. When y'all sent me that bill, I was like, God, I'm gonna try to watch it. Wakil said the same thing. Wakil was like, God, I can't
Yeah.
watch his bill. You killing your
Yeah.
brain cells doing it because
Mhm.
it's no knowledge there. There's no wisdom there, no understanding. But when he's going after the Muslim gods, I'm noticing he's getting a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Like when he
Mhm.
threw the messengers video build on that day and he was going through that. I'm like, okay, we're giving light to these brothers is the point that I'm trying to make, and they don't even know
Mhm.
it.
Wow.
The Muslim gods are shining light on them, and they don't even know it.
Yes, sir.
Is the point, you know?
Yeah,
So yeah,
man.
God.
Okay, well, check this out then, God. Because I'm really, we've been going back and forth about the Muslim God thing. And I'm gonna just share some content with the viewers of some of the stuff that we be saying in our position on the Muslim
Mm,
God thing, because they only hear what these brothers are saying, but what I be trying, I'm gonna just read the comment, God.
mm,
This to Darkim. I said, I had made a comment that when I said that every God is a Muslim, I mean, I say every Muslim is a God, but not every God is a Muslim. And he said that's what we've been saying the whole while. So this is the comment I left Darkim. I said, I don't think we're understanding that in the same light. Meaning, when I said that every Muslim is a God, but not every God is a Muslim, he said that's what they've been saying the whole while. I said, I don't think we're understanding that in the same light. So I said, so let me contextualize my statement.
mm,
When I say every Muslim is God, but not every God is Muslim, I'm saying that every righteous person is God, because Muslim simply means a righteous person, according to the messenger. The messenger also teach that God means possessor of power and force, and doesn't necessarily mean whether one is righteous or wicked. So just by that definition alone, even the devil is a God, according to the messenger. He's just an evil God, so we just call him devil. He's been exercising power and force for evil purposes. So with that being said, how we live determines the type of God we manifest. We're either a righteous God, which really means a Muslim God, I'm inserting that, or an evil God, which is simply a devil. You see what I'm saying? So that be our point. But this, I want to get to this right here, because me and him had an exchange. I'm gonna read what I said, I'm gonna read what he said. And then when I responded back to do a bill, he deleted my comment, God. So I said, I'm tripping, because I just know I posted the comment. So I put the same comment down there again. And he deleted it again. I said, hold up.
He
Go ahead,
fast with
God.
the trigger. He fast on the draw, boy.
Because he had me tripping at first. When I put it the first time, I said, I knew I made post for it to post, and he deleted it. So I posted again, he deleted it again. So guess what I do this time? Because I know I ain't crazy. The third time I posted, I hurry up and screenshot it so they wouldn't think I'm just lying on the God. So I screenshotted it. And so when I went back and looked at it for the third, he deleted that one. But just so happened I got the evidence because I screenshot it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just finna read this exchange, God. And you tell me, was this comment worthy of him delete? Because someone else complained, I think it was the God Jihad, complained about him deleting his comments. And I heard you was complaining about him deleting a lot of your comments. And he told the God Jihad that he don't delete comments. Maybe it's something he said in his comment that YouTube deleted it. I'm like, man, stop it. Stop it, man. Now you in so now intelligence. You feel me? So this is the comment I left the God when he made the video of the video he made about the Muslim God when we had the panel, and the other Muslim gods was on there, and he called me and your name, but he don't show nothing that we actually said in the video. He started showing what some more gods were saying. And I pretty much was telling him that, God, I'm only responsible for what I say. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, I said, peace to the gods. This is the one he actually read on one of his videos. I said, brother, please don't start trolling with these types of videos. From what I've been hearing from the Muslim gods, we don't have nothing but love for you and all of our people who are trying to uplift our nation from the degraded condition we're in. Just because we have a few differences in our understanding of the lessons, that doesn't mean we're enemies. So don't pursue this course, dear brother, because it's counterproductive. I requested in the comment section of one of your videos to do a build on the subject we were going back and forth about, but you never did respond. If you don't want to build together, that's fine. But don't give the people the impression that we're enemies, because it's not that deep, God. I just figured it would be good for the culture, that's all. If you're open to do a build, let me know. If not, there's peace. And I put peace to the 5% in every part of our planet. All right. Now, this is what he responded back. He said, Bro Jabbar, after y'all set up there while two different people suggest that it's 5% culture to slap a bitch and kick your pregnant earth down a flight of steps, and you didn't say nothing to stop that, now you want to be nice. How many accusations was made on there? There's no message on my videos asking me to build. Listen what he said now. He said, there's no message on my videos asking me to build. And I just read some, right? I'm going to read another one. I'm going to read another one. Now, he ain't deleted the other one, so he must ain't see it. He must ain't see this one, so I give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. But he definitely deleted the one that I'm finna read now that I said he kept on, he deleted it 3 times. He said, now you want to be nice. How many accusations were made on there? Oh, I read that part. He said, there's no message on my videos asking me to build. I don't make it seem like y'all are the enemy. Y'all make it seem that way when you speak. I don't know what you want to discuss with me. Elijah Muhammad said what he said. What I will do is give you the opportunity to educate me on what I need to know that's going to change what Elijah Muhammad said on that video. Don't hold back like you said you was doing on the live screen. Nobody that's 5% needs to defend what Elijah Muhammad said. Don't build a straw man of things that was never said, and we can do it however you want. I responded. I said, this is all I said, God. This is my email. I left in my email. I said, this is my email. Contact me and we'll go from there. P.S. I'm only responsible for self. Anything and everything I say, I stand on it. Peace, God. He deleted. I put it on there again. He deleted it again. I put it on there again, a screenshot.
Deleted again.
He still deleted, but he
Did the
don't know I
same
got
thing
the
to me, dog.
screenshot.
He
Huh?
did the same thing to me. Same thing to me. I mean, that's why I said he quick on with the trigger finger with the
You see what I'm saying?
he
Because God, I used to
like
be wondering. I
Billy
said,
Billy.
all these people viewing his content. I know somebody in that comment section that told him, well, God, why you just want to invite the brothers up and y'all do a build on them? You understand what I'm saying? Because
Right.
when I first, met you and the God Wakil and the God Jahai, when I first met y'all, that's the first thing I was asking, man, let's invite these brothers up to do a build. And y'all like, man, them brothers running. They don't want no
Yeah, been
smoke with
there,
the
done
Muslim
that.
God.
Yeah, been there, done that.
It's
Been
almost
there,
like
done
they
that.
got some gatekeepers and that's keeping, these gods from even coming to build with the Muslim gods for some reason. And I'm trying to figure out what I know I kind of got an idea what the reason is, but I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. You see what
See,
I'm
like.
saying?
See,
Go
when
ahead,
I
bro.
be, and I talked to, Ramel, about an hour or so ago. He had to go into work tonight. You know what I'm saying? He said he'll probably catch up with us another time and Bill. But Ramel was supposed to be getting, Melchizedek, because I look from when I've been asking him to come
Mm-hmm.
Bill. You know what I mean? With the Muslim God. You walk around here fronting like you a Muslim God, saying that you not. And I'm saying fronting because to Melchizedek, there is no, it's just, there ain't no such thing as a Muslim God. That's Wakil's fantasy. So because you walking around here, I guess fronting like you a Muslim God wearing both flags, come on and build with us, man. Come on and
Mm-hmm.
build with us. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Darkim. I told Ramel from way back, yo, tell him, come on, man. I mean, I'll come on his platform. He can come on our platform. It's whatever. Let's
Mm-hmm.
build. Let's discuss. It was a dub. Still, you know what I'm saying? Like
Look, God.
they
Look,
don't want
God.
to build. But
That's
but
what
my
I
thing
said.
is,
Look,
right?
God.
Good,
When I ain't mean to cut your wisdom, God. My bad. My bad.
good, good,
When
good.
he deleted that simple comment, God, I wasn't disrespectful. I wasn't vulgar or none of that. I wasn't being no savage or none of that. I just left my email and told him to contact me and we'll go from there. And so since he deleted that comment, I said, okay, he don't want to build in. That's what it's about. Because
Right.
that's the only way he can keep the charade going. You know what I'm saying? With all the shenanigans and all the deceptive intelligence and all, that's the only way he can keep it going if he never allowed a bill to actually happen. Because he
Right.
know once the bill happen, bro, you don't want no smoke with the Muslim God. When they come to these teachings, bro, and I ain't just talking, bro. I done been around, bro.
I already know. I already know. I mean, it's like and I always and it's like, when me and the guards build sometime and I try to tell them, and I think me and Ramel had the same conversation one time. And I think I told him, I said, it's likened unto Minister Farrakhan because, one day the guard was like, yo, they don't be liking when you say you call them baby guards. They don't like that. And yo, they don't like when you say this or they don't like when you say that. Like, we should limit from saying this or we should limit ourselves from saying that. I think the son born said the same thing. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? King Son suggested the same thing. And it's like I told those brothers, I said, I liken it to Minister Farrakhan and the so called Jews. They
mm,
don't care if the minister stops saying white man devil or black man God or Elijah Muhammad or they want him to stop teaching.
mm-hmm.
Period. It
Period.
ain't one word that's pissing them off that you
Mm-hmm.
keep saying. It ain't a phrase that you keep saying that's pissing them off. They want you to stop it
Mm,
because you're waking up too many of the NGE who they really want to know. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? They really want to know the truth, God. They don't want to, they don't care for all of this back and forth rhetoric. They really
Mm-hmm.
want us to get together, build with each other so that they
Mm-hmm.
can discern for themselves and
No doubt.
find the truth out. That's
And,
it.
and
So
and I
I
think
think
that,
I was just gonna say real quick too,
go ahead, God.
with Darkim, I think that's real what's the word I'm looking for? Deceptive or the like you know, he could have like I built on Iblis God plenty of times,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you would wait to hear from a newborn, and really we was just letting the brother build with us at the end of the day. Brother Marco Jai, he came on building, but the
Mm-hmm.
whole perspective that built was we was thinking that we was gonna build with these brothers. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And not just Darkim, but some of the other NGE, but none
Yeah.
of them showed up.
No.
None of them. So instead, we just said, we'll just, cipher up amongst ourselves, me, you, True Seven,
Mm-hmm.
Brother Jihad. And we was just, you know what I'm saying? So gods are speaking freely. They saying now, hey, maybe I should have said, hey, okay, we ain't gonna go that far about, kicking the earth down the stairs or slapping bitches. And,
Yeah.
we ain't get, I'll
Yeah.
take that on the chin. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that on the chin. I probably could have said something to, you know what I'm
All of
saying?
us could have said something, but God, there's a reason why our tongue was held back.
I was
And the
going there.
reason might be
I
divine,
was
brother.
going there. I was going there. Go ahead,
Yes,
God.
sir.
Exactly.
Yes,
Damn.
sir. Okay.
Yeah.
This was unfinished. You finished it. You concluded that, God, or you want to go
Yeah,
ahead
yeah.
and close
I'm
that
cooking.
statement out?
Where you going now? Where you just picked up and cut in at? I was just
Yeah.
about to go there, but go ahead. That's what I was about to
Yeah.
say. It's a reason why
Yeah.
they you know what I'm saying? Use it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like with that, me, I got a habit of, or a good habit of not wanting to really, cut the God's wisdom, even when I disagree. Because I've been
Mm,
practicing discipline, I've been practicing patience to, because people gonna say a lot of stuff that you may not agree with. And what you gonna
right.
cut them off every time they say something you don't know? Nah, let them finish their wisdom.
Right.
And then if it's something that I just wanted to come back and address or ask them about because I didn't agree with it, then, so be it, I do that. But for some
Right.
reason, what I'm saying, when the God was saying that, okay, he ran it. But guess what? That exposed that ain't the real issue, bro. The real
Mm,
issue is our difference in understandings of the lessons. So the things that we actually disagree on, let's sit down and have a bill, bro. So the people who actually trying to grow in the lesson, they trying to grow in their understanding of the lesson, bro. They can get it from all different angles and let the truth fall where it fall. You see what I'm saying?
right.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
This is the thing that me and God Darkim was going back in the comment section about, us being Muslim gods. And I'm finna show you that this comment I left, God, is so profound. And then at the end, this is the one at the end when I told I was asking him, let's do a build on it. And he never did respond. Listen
Mm.
to this comment, man. I want the viewers to listen to this comment too, man. Listen to this. This me, the Darkim. I told the God, I said, I'm not trying to convince you that the black man is a Muslim by nature. Because if the Honorable Elijah Muhammad can't convince you, then there's really nothing any one of us can do to increase your understanding of that absolute truth.
That's right.
I'm just pointing out to you that if you teach that the black man is not a Muslim by nature, that particular understanding, or should I say misunderstanding, is not rooted in the 120 lessons or none of
That's
the
right.
messenger's teachings, to be exact.
That's
You
right.
have every right to hold that position, but don't make it seem as though it's rooted in the 120 lessons, because it's not. As far as you not following the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, you have every right to take that position as well. All I'm saying is that Allah, Master Muhammad, has made the Honorable Minister Farrakhan to exhaust all those who many thought was the fulfillment of that 1/3 of the Holy Quran. And to be honest, there's really no one else to point to. There's degrees to our godhood. That's something that must be understood when it comes to the reality of God. Just because we know we're God, that doesn't mean we stop learning and growing. Knowledge is infinite. And no, we are not God equally. There's a hierarchy with the gods. That's why the messenger told us about the 24 sciences, or gods, if you will. He taught that there were 12 major and 12 minor. and the wisest one among them is the best knower. And they refer to him as the supreme being. Even though the other 23 scientists are gods as well, they are not too proud to submit to his authority and leadership. And they all bow to him because they recognize one with more knowledge and wisdom. And therefore, he's able to exercise power and force on a level greater than the rest. That's big because that's what many of us fall short. We're lacking in humility. Peace, Black God. I guess I'll close out my comment right here because there's just so much more to unpack on this subject. But if you like, we can do a build on this video together so I can provide some context if you like. I think it would be a healthy build for all Asiatic gods tuned in. Let me know if it's a go, and I'll drop my mail so you can contact me. Peace to the 5% in every part of our planet. This is what I left to God, and he never did respond.
Wow, that's
beautiful, God. Beautiful, because I'm explaining our position. I'm telling him if y'all teach that the black man is not a Muslim by nature, that's not consistent with what the 120 teach. Because I noticed when we asked them, do the 120 lesson teach that the black man is God? They say yes. They ain't got to explain that because that's self-evident. I said, okay. On the other hand, do the 120 lesson also teach that the black man is Muslim? And this is what they try to explain away. You see what I'm saying? The 120 teach that the black man is a Muslim. The 120 teach that the black man is God, but you accept the part where it say he God and you disregard the other part that say he's a Muslim. So I'm saying if your understanding that he's not a Muslim, what does that come from? Because it's not rooted in the lessons. And they don't ever want to answer for that. Where did you get that understanding from? Because it don't come from Master Muhammad. It don't come from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. These are their lessons that they gave us to grow us into our godhood. So this is where, all the back and forth come from. And this is why this particular bill need to be had. And they ain't got to be with him because we see he don't want no smoke. Darkim don't want no smoke. We see that now. So we can move to some more, respectable and influential brothers in the 5% nation or, the nation of gods and earth, whichever one they want to go by. And we can just do a bill with them, brother, because it's still good for the culture. Because at the end of the day, bro, they're my brothers, man. I come through the 5% nation, bro. That's how I got the knowledge of self. You understand what I'm saying? So all of us, I've been recognized, bro. When I first got the knowledge, when I first started reading the 120, just like I told you, I understood that I was God just by reading the lessons. I understood that I was a Muslim just by reading the lessons. But all the other, writings and books and lectures of the messenger helped me understand that with much more depth. You understand what I'm saying? So when we say that we Muslim God, this is what the messenger teach. He been teaching this since the 30s, bro. Where you been? And it's so crazy, God, because they got all this new technology out there. And I was just messing around with a little Meta AI. And I was asking Meta AI, do the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach that the black man is a Muslim? They even got it right. Of course he teach that the black man is a Muslim by nature. I asked him, does the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach that the black man is God? Of course he teach that the black man is God of the universe. They even got it right. So how the hell you let the devil technology answer the lessons or get a greater understanding of the lesson than you got? But you got
the devil's technology got better comprehension, reading comprehension than they do.
Come on, God. See, it's a lot of things that we can say, man, but we really don't be wanting to insult our brothers because we got to leave room for them to grow.
Right.
But when they go to all these shenanigans like this and all this deceptive intelligence and trolling, sometimes they don't leave us no choice. But we still take the high road. But on this, and this is the last time I'm gonna address this guy. If he don't want to come be here with us, bro, I ain't addressing him no more. I'm just let him be.
At the end of the day, for us, this is the high road.
Well, I was telling the brother, it's not who we are by nature. That's just one part of it. But how you live and what you manifest in your day-to-day reality determines who you actually are.
Right.
So if you living other than righteous,
right,
I can understand you not identifying as a Muslim because you're not that. Right. You that by nature, but that ain't what you manifest. Right. So I can understand that. You understand what I'm saying? So I just really want to put the Muslim God thing to the past, because just like you say, it's plenty of people in the culture who never you actually use the term Muslim God, but you ask them, you go to the FOI, man, are you a Muslim? Yes, I'm a Muslim by nature. Are you God? Yeah, that's my birthright. The black man is God. He's God of the universe. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you understand what I'm saying? So
Right,
they
right.
understand that it just brothers like us who actually just self-identify as a Muslim God. That's not an
Mm-hmm.
oxymoron, bro. That's rooted in the teachings. And
I
this is
don't even
what
think
we
they
be
know. I
wanting
don't.
these
I
brothers
don't
to
even think
know.
they.
Huh?
I don't even think they know what that word means. You know, they use it out of its proper context. You know,
Yeah, they
trying to
use it
describe
real
something
loosely.
that the lessons is saying
Mm.
literally. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I don't even think they know what that word really means. You know what I'm
They
saying?
just probably just heard it so
But
much and just really just repeat it. And like you said, they don't know what the word actually means. You understand
right,
what I'm saying? But I
right.
still just really be wanting them to know that, bro, your understanding that the black man is not a Muslim is not rooted in the lesson. So where did you get that from? You got to answer that. Quit ducking
Well,
that ducking
you,
answering that question.
well, it's almost like a Christian when you ask a Christian, you know, something, and they you back them in a corner. They just say, "Well, Jesus gonna save me. The Lord gonna Jesus gonna help me." Hey,
Yeah.
well, what you gonna do when you catch cancer? You know, from all those smoking cigarettes and you know, and you got cancer now and around your lungs and stuff, and
Mhm.
Jesus gonna save me. You know what I'm saying? That was my mom's. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Darkim and the rest of the NGE is pretty much the same way. They just gonna be like the father said it.
Mhm.
Why do you say the father said it?
But that
Allah the
then
Father
even
said
with
it.
that, God, let me show you what I was
Can
even
you
like I
show?
was,
Can you
you know,
show and prove? Is there some sort of
they
video
came.
footage? You know, the messenger. Look
They
how you
came.
watch the messenger's footage, and you see him on the Buzz Anderson show, and you know, you mean there's no other footage but that?
Mm.
You know, that's how it sounds in the background. The only footage that they got of the father, and it's not footage, it's just audio of him
Audio.
talking or whatever, where he said, supposedly said, the Muslims make me sick, or Elijah and the Muslims make me sick, or something he said or whatever. But it's
Mm.
like literally, God, that's how it sounds. You can't hear
Mhm.
nothing. You know what I'm saying?
So you
But
saying that they just rely on hadiths that may be forged.
I mean, I wouldn't even really call it a hadith. I
You
mean,
know,
what their teachings, and the reason
sayings
why,
of the Father.
right, that, but I wouldn't even call it that. The reason
Okay.
why is because one of the things with Islam is that when hadiths were compiled, you know, they went around to different people. This was, you know, this is, of course, after Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had, you know, departed or whatever.
Mhm.
The Sahaba went around and they, you know, spoke to people and you know to get accounts that were
Okay.
in close proximity with the holy prophet to see what did they see, what did he say, because you know everything you saw what he did, that's Islam.
Mhm.
That you know what I'm saying. What did he say, what did he do? But there was a process that the Arabs, and this is the reason why they're like the custodians, or not like the custodians, but they are the custodians of the faith of the deen, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, because they made sure that if like say if you were known to be a unrighteous person, or you
Mhm.
was known for lying, or
Mhm.
you were known for being a little thief, you know,
Mhm.
whether you stole something major or you know just a little petty thief, minor, on some minor, they didn't ask you your accounts on nothing. They don't want nothing from you.
No doubt.
You see what I'm saying? So it was a process. They had to go around and find people that were worthy to
Mhm.
be able to say, well, yeah, no, the father came and told me such a, or the Rasulullah came back and said da 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 da, and he told me this.
Mhm.
We talking about 5%ers now. Most of these
Mhm.
dudes, again, this ain't speculation. You
But
know,
listen,
just
God,
like
you
how
got to
we
hear
got
this.
Muslim gods and we got
Yeah.
brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like with them brothers, you got brothers in the street, you got brothers doing this, that, and the third. Hey, what did the father tell you or whatever? You mean to tell me that nobody ain't gonna spice up a story, or nobody ain't gonna add a little
I know.
spin to the
Listen.
story, or nobody? So the whole process. So not that, just to your point, the reason why I was saying I wouldn't even call it a hadith. See, what the Elijah Muhammad, we could say table talks is hadiths. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? A
What's
lot of
up?
the you know private conversations that the messenger may have had with his ministers
Yes,
around the
sir.
dinner tables and stuff like that, or even newspaper articles, or when he was at the Pittsburgh Courier and the Chicago Tribune and the, you know what I'm saying,
Yes,
giving
sir.
interviews and stuff. Well, that's our hadiths because they were
No doubt.
well taken accounts, and the people
Recorded.
that heard stuff were righteous people that they're not going to come and spin the messenger's word and say he said
Mm-hmm.
this or he said that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons why with them, again, it's always you back them into a corner. Yo, well, it came from Allah the Father. It came from
but
Allah
Pete
the
did
Father
though,
said it.
God.
Well, can
Pete
you
did.
prove how, well, can you, why did he say that? Give some sort of context to it. Can you, well, I mean, he just said it and that was it.
Okay. Okay. And I agree with that. Now, Pete this. Now to that point. To that
Mm,
point. Just like when, certain Muslims try to come to us and say, well, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, he said this and said that.
mm,
Us in the Nation of Islam, bro, we don't even entertain a hadith. We don't even
right,
consider entertaining a hadith if it's not consistent with what Allah revealed in the Holy Quran. So
right,
with these brothers, even, okay, I know you say you wouldn't even consider a hadith, but when they say, well, the Father said this or the Father said that, when he say something, when they said that the Father said something, but it's
mm,
not consistent with what the 120 lessons teach, I don't even deal with it. Unless you got some concrete evidence or some concrete proof that he actually said that.
right, right.
So when
And
they
and
say
and
that
that
the
and that and
Father
that goes
say,
right, and that goes for Al Islam too. You know,
yeah,
with Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. You know, like
yeah,
if it's a hadith where the Prophet says something, but that's not in Allah's Sunnah. Allah's Sunnah is the Quran.
it's the
You know what I'm
Quran.
saying? So if Allah didn't put that in His Sunnah, then you know what I'm saying. We know that it's not fard. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's not obligatory. You know
Yes,
what I
sir.
mean? For you to do that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Take for instance, shaving a beard. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You know that's not in the Quran. However, Prophet Muhammad, traveling with the Arabs and stuff, back then and traveling through the desert, and sometimes these desert winds would, pick up, and that
Mhm.
sand get to blowing, and
Picking up
it
germs
could
and
hit your face.
dust.
It could, slice your face. They like glass. They make glass sand out of, so they make glass or whatever out of sand once it's hardened or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, that joint hit you and it could, damage you or whatever. So the prophet was like, yeah, wear the beard. Whoever wear the beard, you get blessings. Da 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 da. Right?
Okay.
That's not in the Quran. That's not the Quran. That's just what the prophet,
Mhm.
said out of his mouth or whatever to his companions for that
Okay.
time. But today, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, again, don't wear the beard, you know what I'm saying? Because the messenger wants to get his Muslims to look a certain way or distinguished look when you FOI, when you're in that suit and bow tie, he
Yes,
wants you to
sir.
look a certain way. Again, that's not in the Quran. Allah didn't say that. But again, it's for a time that, so things like that, where I would say, like in the Nation of Islam, if it's dealing with a specific time, like the prophet may have said to do this, but now we don't do this. Or the prophet may have said, do this, but now Elijah comes and says, don't do this. It's like
Mhm.
these are things that's dealing in the time within the times that we're in. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's almost
Yeah.
like if you in Mecca, Arabia, 1400 years ago, you're not riding a Benz, you're riding a camel.
My camel.
You know
Yes,
what I
sir.
mean? But today
Yes,
you
sir.
go over there, them Arabs, they filthy rich, they super duper rich. They walking
Mhm.
on oil up under their feet. So they ain't riding on camels like that. I mean, if anything, the poor would probably be doing, but the rich Arabs, they
Mhm.
riding in Benzes and you know
Yeah.
what I'm
Because
saying?
the principle, the
So
underlying principle is transportation. You
exactly,
even use ancient transportation in modern time because you don't have to,
exactly.
So
After
you
all
got to
purpose
extract the
is
principle.
transportation, right?
Yeah.
So, like I
So,
said, things that are in the Quran now and that Allah says in the Quran, that's what we stick to. You know what I'm saying? And if any hadith or any messenger or prophet or warner or whatever, mujaddid, whatever he is, reformer, when he comes to the people, if he's saying something that's inconsistent with what Allah says in the Quran, then yeah, we got a problem. We got a
no
problem
doubt.
with that.
No doubt.
So, I just say all of that to say likewise with them. If the father and the elders say stuff that's consistent with what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Master Fard Muhammad gave us,
Mhm.
I don't have no problem with following that and adhering
Okay.
to that. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Because it's the
I
truth.
agree.
But you
I
can't
agree.
just he's saying a spark contradiction that the messenger never said this. For
Hmm.
instance, we are from the tribe of Jabbar.
Yeah,
Allah
never
says the
heard that.
tribe of Jabaz.
Come on,
Like,
brother.
okay, where else can we? Where did the messenger say that? Did Master Prophet Muhammad say that? Who's the tribe of Jabbar? Like, where they at? So guess what? If they like, no, well, the father said that. Well, guess what? This is where I part ways with the father on that
Exactly.
understanding
You
because
better
I
say
go
it.
with what the teacher says. I know that the
Thank you.
father was a baby. The father
Yeah.
was like Marco John, 8, 7, 8 years of knowledge. So I'm
Yeah.
going with what the teacher says. I'm
Yes,
not gonna
sir.
go with what a student says. And that's the important point that they miss.
Hmm. Yes, sir. I agree with
So
that. That's a nice illustration. Yes, sir.
yeah,
But I was gonna go off until our vantage point where why we said Honorable Minister Farrakhan is the fulfillment of that 1/3 of the book.
yes,
And
sir.
I know
Yes, sir.
I don't even really want to address that now. Unless
Hmm.
I just get on the bill, we get on the panel with the other Muslim gods, we just go down through there and do a build on it. But on this particular segment, I won't even address that, bro, because
Right.
it don't even really the spirit of it don't even fit in with the bill that we having now. Even
Yeah.
though that we
Yeah.
don't come in no ill spirit or nothing like that, it's just it's
Right.
just so much to even unpack on that.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
that'll take up a whole nother hour or two. So
Yeah, yeah. This is just basically because I know he probably gonna look at this and he gonna try to go all through and then
mhm.
But I mean, at the end of the
I
day,
ain't, I ain't
and
look here.
see
Hold
the
on. Let me
thing
tell him
is,
that, God. Let me tell him that, God.
go
I'm
ahead.
not addressing you unless you do a bid. If you don't want to do no bid with us, bro, I ain't mentioning you no more.
Right,
that's just for me. I'm speaking for
right.
myself, bro.
Hey, and I follow those same sentiments too
Yeah.
because it's like I don't want to going back and forth and the mudslinging. Oh, y'all niggas slap bitches too. Oh,
Yeah.
y'all sell drugs too, and y'all not. Let's deal with the lessons. Let's deal
Yeah,
with
deal
what
with
the
the lesson,
teachers
man. Keep it
say.
with the
If
with the
we're not gonna
teachers.
deal with that, then
Exactly.
yeah, I'm kind of like Wakil, and Wakil he'll put my name in that
You
video,
ain't lying.
and I
But look,
can't
I'm like,
blame
bro,
him.
I come on your platform. You can come on the God They Son platform. However you
Right,
want to do it, bro. But the discussion need to be had. But if we don't have it with you, we're gonna have it with another God. You know
right.
that
Yeah,
adopt
yeah.
some of those same understanding that y'all adopt. So.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, we're doing something. I think what you and Brother Jabbar doing, you and Brother Jihad are doing is real good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
gathering NGE brothers that, during the week, y'all may have disputes on Facebook, of course,
Mhm.
peaceful debates and stuff,
Yeah,
nothing disrespectful. Put
yeah,
them on the show and, bring them on live and they come up and build. And,
yeah.
see, and I just want to say this to, like the NGE who, may not can discern or can't really like who's real, who's the real, who's fake, who's real. Let me explain something to you.
Come on
We
with it.
invite people who don't have our point of view onto our
Yes, sir.
platform.
We
You're
invite that.
welcome to come on to the Muslim Cipher Network. We don't shun no Hebrew Israelite. We don't shun no
None of that.
atheist. We don't shun no Sunni Muslims. We don't shun no whatever they are, you welcome to come.
No
But guess
doubt.
what? Will Darkim do that on his channel and bring people from other schools of thought onto his channel? And
Mm,
and and I don't think he will do that. In fact, I don't
mm,
think none of the NGE will do that because, well, your law ain't teach that. The law don't teach that. So they'll run from the science instead of building with the brother.
hmm.
See, I'm a scientist. I
No
build
doubt.
with whoever's kicking science and mathematics. That's who I build with. I'm God.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That's my culture. So if you want to build on science and mathematics, that's my culture. Let's come
Mm,
on, let's build.
most
They're
definitely.
not gonna
Most
do
definitely.
that. They're not gonna do what we doing. How you and
Hmm.
Brother Jabbar, Brother Jihad inviting
Yeah.
people. They're
Yeah.
not gonna do that, God. So right there, that should show people alone.
Hmm.
All he's gonna do is just sit back. He gonna take this video. He gonna nitpick through it and stuff.
Hmm.
Which I don't care. He can nitpick through this because it's not newborns talking. He talking to me and you now.
Yes,
So
sir.
whatever he's picking out of this video, he can get from
Yeah,
straight
no
from
doubt.
your
We
mouth or
standing on
straight
it.
from right, straight from
Yeah,
your mouth. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
we
Like I said,
standing on this.
and I thought that was crazy because like when the brother Marco Jaw was building, he was like, oh yeah, yeah, and he was like, oh yeah, and he's talking about the Iblis God and stuff thinking to myself, like, yo, there's plenty of videos I did talking about Iblis gods, breaking it down. Why would you have to hear from somebody else?
Mm,
You could just listen to my breakdown. You see
no
what I'm
doubt.
saying?
No
So
doubt.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't, I feel like, I'm doing drugs or something, like how you lose brain cells, it's like
Yeah.
going back and forth with this dude is like, it's hard for me because when he does a 3, 4 hour live and I gotta just sit there and watch him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't do it, God. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. This my last
Most
time
definitely.
really even, after this, we just gonna continue on with our program. Because like I tell brothers all the time, at the end of the day, these are our brothers and stuff, and
Most
we want the
definitely.
best for them.
Most
I
definitely.
want brothers to know that. We want the best for them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not gonna classify all NGE with evil as gods. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh,
again,
most
an
definitely.
evilist God is someone who don't care to learn. Like right now,
Mm-hmm.
you breaking down something to me, I keep cutting you off. Ah, la, 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 la,
Mhm.
and I'm making no because I don't want you to get it out. I don't want to know. I don't want to understand. I don't want the
Mm-hmm.
people that watch my channel to understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But you got some NGE that's really like, yo, so Elijah Muhammad said that? So
Mm-hmm.
where did Elijah, and they have questions, what,
Yes, sir.
when, where, why, how? These
Yes,
are
sir.
questions mostly asked by a newborn. They're newborns. So they're gonna ask questions because within their nation, those brothers don't have that level of wisdom like we have to go into
Mm-hmm.
the exegesis of what this
Exactly.
means and what that means. So
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, I think, again, platform is open to brothers, man. Yo,
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you a Iblis God, if you coming on to cause dissension and cause,
Oh, no. That ain't
stay
welcome.
over there. Stay
Yeah,
over there.
exactly.
You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
I've been
And
dealing with the
again,
God.
and again, I was just gonna say
Go
this real
ahead.
quick. Again, it's not the disagreeing because again, we can let other NGE and you don't have to agree with everything I'm saying or
Exactly,
Brother
bro.
Jabbar saying. You could
Yes, sir.
disagree with us. We could disagree out of love. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, look, like me and brother Jihad. We have disagreements. He wants to teach the old heads. I'm like, I want to stick to the young heads, but
Yes, sir.
that's my brother. I still love him. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
as long as y'all have that type of spirit, y'all
Yes,
are
sir.
welcome to come onto the platform anytime y'all want to.
I'm glad you pointed it out. But then I want to give a shout out to the God self elevation, Asiatic Allah. You know, we've been going back and forth on, through Messenger, with his understanding of the lessons, my understanding of the lessons, and it's been a peaceful bill, man. So just like you
Yeah,
said, man, the NGE, man, hey, them our brothers, and I be saying just because we might have a few little minor differences of in understanding of the lesson, that don't mean that we don't have the same mission, which is to awaken the masses, you know. So at the end of the day, I just want to give a shout out to the brother, though, to the God, peace to the God, self
yeah,
elevation.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace to the God.
So,
Salute. Yeah. But yeah, God, inshallah, we're gonna get back on again, man. This was just a little quick, we just had to deal with that tonight, man, real quick. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
sir.
But
Yes, sir.
inshallah, we'll link up with the rest of the guards and get this panel going on probably one day this week, if anything. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So,
That work.
I leave the brother as I came in the 3 words of peace. We said in Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, black God. Peace to the gods in every part of the
Peace.
planet. Peace to the 5%.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, God.